Hi, Best Buds. It's Cathy with Cathy's Garden, and I'm so happy that you've joined me today. Today is hashtag tagmetuesday, and if you would like to join our group, the link is down below. It's a Facebook group. I invite you all to join in the fun. What you need to do to join in the group is you need to accept the rules. What are the rules? To be kind to everyone, and there's no selling on that site. Now, there is another question. You don't have to have the answer, but the answer is hashtag Cathy Sewing Happiness. So don't forget, I invite you all, but you need to accept the rules of the group to be able to join. Over there, you watch the video, the Tag Me Tuesday video. You see what we're making. You make your version. I love to see how our personalities come out in our crafting. You go to the Facebook group, hashtag Tag Me Tuesday. You post your picture of the version of the hashtag Tag Me Tuesday project that we're working on. There's lots of projects that you can choose from in my playlist that's entitled hashtag Tag Me Tuesday. What I do ask is that you don't just show us what you're working on this week. You stick to the projects so we all can see how our personalities come out, and we get so many different ideas by looking at different people's creations. Alrighty, so now on with this week's Tag Me Tuesday project. We're going to be making a one-page wonder. Actually, it's 2 pages making a one-page wonder with no waste at all. So what it is, it's a little journal. Now, I have made 4 of these. You can see they go so quickly. You'll be mass making them too. So this paper is Roxy's creation. There's 2 of those, and these 2 are chapter 1 papers. And inside the little journal here, we've got a pocket, and I popped a tag in here. And then you have 4 pages. Now you could stamp these pages. You could put stickers on these pages, tabs on these pages. You could decorate them up any way you want. And then there's another pocket on the inside of the back cover. Now I just made mine with copy weight paper. I did not make mine out of cardstock, but you can do that. That would be just as easy to make them out of cardstock. So I've got this beautiful one and this one. I've put cards in all of them. I am using those papers that I colored Sunday. I had a little mass making dyeing session, and I made some really pink papers, and I made some and mixed in some coffee into my pink, and so they turned out they turned out this color right here as opposed to the brighter color that's right there, and a little bit brighter. There's some that are really bright. All right, so I also have seen and read in the comments that a lot of people have trouble decorating the front of a journal. Now, this isn't a huge journal. It's just a very small journal, but you might still run into a roadblock. I think I have something that might help you out. So I have made some clusters out of some scraps that I have. I used an image of a lady, some music paper, some lace from a shirt, some crinkled seam binding from my scrap cabin shop, a little rose fussy cut, and some packing paper. And I combined them together, and voila, you have a beautiful cover for your journal. It doesn't matter really which one I stick this on, which journal. It just looks beautiful on all of the journals. There's that red one. Now here's one that has the pink crinkled seam binding. Well, my goodness, I'm not sure which one I think is prettier where. I think they're pretty on all of them. Now there's one with blue. Let's look at that. There's that. And then there's this one. And there's this one. That's pretty with the blue up here, isn't it? And then there's this one. So, before I'm going to show you how I made all of this, I'm going to put out a big thank you to Elizabeth. Elizabeth, I hope you're listening. I hope you're watching, because Elizabeth sent me a whole bunch of this bling right here. Oh my goodness, Elizabeth, this was absolutely fantastic. You made my day. You also made me the most beautiful envelope journal. Oh my goodness, I will treasure it. Now, I have looked and looked to see how I'm going to contact you. I cannot find how we communicated the first time. So if you're listening, please comment down below. I'd love to speak with you a little bit more. Alrighty, so back to the project at hand. One Page Wonder. I have a digital here. Now, you don't have to use digitals, you guys. You could use a paper pad. I would select, now I am selecting lightweight paper, like copy weight paper. You could actually use a cardstock if you wanted. Now, if you wanted yours to be coffee dyed on the back, then you can coffee dye paper out of a paper pad. It's not going to bleed the ink at all. So that's a nice way to finish off the back of a paper pad if you'd like to use that. Or you can use your digital. Now, I have in my little 4 that I made, you can see that, let's see, this one's my largest. And then these two seem to be about the same size. And then this one's smaller. So you can make them whatever size that the paper that you have. You do not have to make it a certain size. Now this paper right here happens to be 10.5 inches by 7.5 inches. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it in half a long way. So let's fold it. Oh, this is also a Roxy's creation. I think it's her Easter quite a few years ago. I just love it. I don't care if there's a bunny on it or not. I just love it. So I'm going to fold it in half and give it a nice crease. Then I'm going to fold it in half again, just like that, and give it a nice crease. Then I'm going to see, do I want this to be my front, or would I rather have this be my front? I think they're both beautiful. But there is something to be said about this, isn't there, guys? So I'm going to turn my fold this way, because I'm going to have that lavender right there. Well, actually, am I going to have that lavender? Yeah, I am. So now what we want to do is we folded it. So remember what we did? We folded it in half the long way. Then we folded it again. And then we decided what we wanted to be the front. And we decided because, you know, we open our books like this. So what you want to do is open it like you're opening your book. You're going to pull this part downward. And right here where this fold is, we're going to take this corner and we're going to fold it. Now what I like to do is I like to place this fold, and I'm going to highlight this just so you would be able to see this fold just a little bit better. I'm going to place this fold right on this line right here, this grid mark. I'm going to take this corner and I'm going to fold it over, and I'm going to have my fold be something about right at that next line, which is 1/4 inch. So I'm basically folding it with about 1/4 of an inch between this piece of paper, the edge, and the fold line. You see right there I'm speaking of. I'm going to do the same thing here. And you know, if you're like me and you have trouble maybe folding straight or even guessing things, I'm not good at. I always like to do it this way, and then I don't know, then it just turns out better for me. Now what I want to do is I want to glue these just like that. I want to glue them. So I'm using my art glitter glue, and I'm going to glue this flap down, and I'm going to glue this flap down. You don't have, it is not going to take a lot of glue. You use the glue of your choice. Oh no, I got something stuck in my mouth. Okay, not my teeth. I don't know, something. All right, so now it's going to look just like this. So if you like to ink, then this is the time where you want to go ahead and ink your fold. And you want to ink the outside like this. So I'm just going to do this real quick here. I'll ink it right there. And then I'm going to ink the outside here like this. This is a super quick way of inking. Oh, okay. And there we go. Now I'm using my frayed burlap. That's the color that I'm using. All right, so now we look just like that. The next thing is I'm going to open it back up like this, and right here, I'm going to add a little bit of glue. So just a line of glue here and a line of glue here. Then I'm going to fold it back, and I'm going to crease that. I'm going to get myself a little tiny piece of paper towel, and I'm going to crease it well. Just so it, I'll push it down, just so that makes your pocket. Now I'm not going to glue this part down because we're going to be sewing our signature in. So I'm grabbing one of those papers that I dyed Sunday, and the color goes beautiful. So let's do the same thing we did before. Let's fold it in half. Give it a nice crease, and then let's fold it in half again, and let's give it a nice crease. And now what you'll want to do is you'll want to bring in your little cover back in. You'll want to place the opening right here. So one end's going to be open and the other end's going to be folded. We're going to place the open end at the top. This is what I consider the top. I'm going to tap it down so that the extra is on the side and the bottom. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to mark just like this. So this is the extra, and we're cutting off the folds. This is the folded end, and we're cutting those off. So it's going to end up looking just like this, except it's only going to be connected. We're going to end up with two sheets folded in half right here. I'm going to bring in my little guillotine, and I'm going to trim this like this, and then I'm going to trim it like this. There we go. Now, what we have is we have two sheets just like this. We're going to place them back together, and I'm going to bring in my corner rounder, and I'm going to round my corners right here. And I'm also going to round my corners of my little journal, just like that. Okay, now I'm going to place my two pieces right in here, the fold, just like we're going to place our signatures into our little journal. I'm going to grab a couple of little paper clips here, and we're going to clip it together. And if you've been with me, you know that I love to use my little cheat sheet, as I call it. You want to have an inch or inch and a half width. The length is the length of your journal. You're going to fold your little sheet in half. You're going to fold it in half again, and then you fold it one more time and crease it really well. When you open it up, you're going to mark it with your pencil where the folds intersect. This is your cheat sheet. This is how you're going to know how to evenly space your holes for your sewing in your signature. A lot of people can eyeball it, not me. If I eyeball it and I'm off a little bit, it will just bug me something fierce, and I'll just have to start all over again and throw it out. I don't know. It just really bothers me. This is great if you're like me and it bothers you. So I'm taking my pokey tool, and I'm putting 3 holes where I've marked right there. And then I'm going to remove this, and I'm going to get my thread. Now I like to use a bookbinding thread. It's a little waxy, and you can buy it on Amazon. I'm going to measure 1, 2, 3, And I'm going to grab my little scissors. I'm going to cut that free. I'm going to grab a little needle, and I'm going to thread my bookbinding thread through my needle. Well, maybe. Of course, it's not going well. Here we are. And then I'm going in the center and leaving yourself a tail, and then in one of the other holes, pull it through, and then one of the other holes, and then back through the center. There we are. Taking my needle off, and now I like to even this up a little bit. So I'm just pulling this through so that I can even my thread up a little bit. Now I'm not putting any type of beads or anything on mine. If I was using a cardstock, then yes, I definitely could do that. But since this is just regular copyweight paper, it's not really a real sturdy journal. It's one that can go inside of another journal. So that's why I'm not putting any tassels on mine. Cutting that, so now we've sewn in our signature, and I'm removing my paper clips so that the next thing that we can do, I'm going to just put that over there and put my paper clips over here, picking up my little things so I can show you, is now we have our one-page wonder. We use two. We use one for the journaling pages. We use one for the cover. We do not have any scraps at all. And you can pop some pieces, journaling cards inside here if you wish. You could decorate this up. Like I said, you could stamp that. You could put little tabs on it. You could fix that all up. But what we want to do is we want to do a little bit of decorating on the front. So how did I make my little clusters? The first thing that I did was I got some packing paper. This just came in something that we ordered at Christmas time, and I just saved some of it. And I'm going to tear a piece. And what you'll want to do is you'll want to get your little journal. You want to make sure that your piece that you're tearing isn't going to be bigger than your journal. You're going to want to have about the same size, or, well, you know, not too big. I also want my little purple flower to show a little bit, so I'm going to do something like that. I also have some music paper, and I'm just going to tear some music paper, and I do want all my edges to be torn in this project, and maybe something like this, maybe something like that. I don't know. Just gonna have to play with it a little bit. I'm gonna bring in my dish. I have these really cute ladies, this piece of ephemera. Now these ladies came from Moonlighting and Company, and they're really sweet. They're very, very vintage. I don't think there's a lavender one here. There's a pink one. There's a green one. Oh, she's pretty. There's a pink one. This one's white. This one's larger. And then this one is the pink. I think it's either the pink or the green because they're smaller. And because I want my little lavender flower to show a little bit, I don't want to cover this up with a really big, you know, like some of these were much bigger. 3 ladies. I'm just going to use the one. I think maybe something like that. Also, I have these pretty little flowers. Now, I know I don't have a lavender one in here. I do have this pretty pink one. I think this one's really pretty. I also have that shirt that I cut up. I bought the shirt at the thrift store. When I go to the thrift store, I just look for material like shirts and things, dresses that are of a material that would work for me in my junk journaling. And that's kind of how I select what I purchase. Although I've bought some clothes there that I've actually worn. Yeah, I have. Okay. Maybe something like that. I think that's really sweet. The next thing I want to do is I want to bring in some crinkled sari silk. Now, I'm not sure I like where I'm keeping my crinkled sari silk. It's very handy, but it's in a drawer. I'm sorry, I just dropped something. In my drawer of my desk, and it's, yeah, I think I need to put it back in a, I'm digging, looking for, that's part of the problem. I can't dig in front of you because it's in a drawer and you can't see what I'm digging. Oh, here, maybe this is the one I want. Yeah, I'm looking for some lavender. I want to try, there it is, that matches that color in that flower. And what is this called? Lilac. Of course it is. All right, so how about if we make a little bow with it, and I want a little bit of a streamer or tassels or whatever you want to call these things, and there, that's cute. I'm going to trim that. We pop that on there. Now the next thing that I want to do is I want to combine all this. I do want to ink around my music paper, so I'm just going to run my sponge, which obviously needs a little bit more ink on it, and I'm going to just go around the edge, and then I'm going to go around the edge of my paper. I also could crinkle this paper up a little bit more. I might make it very interesting as well. So let's start combining this. I think I have everything else inked up. My lady's inked up. My flower isn't. All right. So now let's glue this together. So I'm going to just add a little bit of glue right here. Whoa, throwing my glue around. And I'm still, you know, working with wanting to show off the flower on my cover of my little booklet here. And let's see here. Maybe something like that. So I'm going to glue my lace down, and I'm going to switch to my hot glue. And this is a Surebonder high temp, and it has that tip on it. You can buy it off of Amazon, and I like that. I think that looks good. So now it's time to pop our lady on. So I'm going to switch to my art glitter glue and pop her on there like that. So we're just layering things up. I think I want to put my, yeah, I'm going to put my flower on next. I think I want it to go this way. Do you hear that dog in the background? I don't know what he's snorting about, but he's snorting. I don't know what he's doing. Okay. There we go. And now we want our little bow. Oh, that's going to be so sweet. I'm going to just put a line of glue right there, like that. And then, how about if we actually glue this on, and then I can add my bling, because this is exactly where I'm going to put this one. I made it special for this cover. So there we are. Just gluing that down. Now what do I want for my decorations? I have got a button. Well, that's really sweet. That button's sweet on there. I've got some flat back pearls. They don't show up too well. I've got this bling right here from Elizabeth. That is nice. I could put it right across there. I'm torn between my bling and my button. I'd have to say I like the button the best with this project. So I'm going to add my glue, and I'm going to put it right there on top of my little bow. And I've added some thread in the holes of the button. So let's go ahead and let's select the pieces that we need to cover. Now I've got 3. I've made 3 here. I've got 4 covers, so I'm not sure. I kind of liked this one. You can't see that. I like that one. I think my light is maybe, does that help you? Is that, oh, that looks a whole lot better. Okay, maybe this one. Of course, there's also, I just don't know which one to put with which one. This blue one looked gorgeous with this, didn't you think? With the blue in that cover with that one. Okay, and then this pink one looks pretty nice with this color, seems to be matching. So I'm going to glue this onto this one, and just in absolutely no time at all, we're going to end up with 4 journals. Just like that. Ones that you could add to your in your pocket of your larger journal. You could send it out in Happy Mail. You could give them out as gifts for to friends. You could do so many things with these, and they're not hard. And you don't have to really think about what on earth and how am I going to decorate the cover of this journal. So I do think this beautiful red one looks really nice with this one right here. So I'm going to pop that one on here. So adding my glue and then just popping it on. I can't wait to see everybody's version of this over in hashtag tagmetuesday Facebook group. I think they turned out spectacular, absolutely gorgeous. If you have enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. I invite you to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video. I'll see you there, guys. Bye now.